Every morning when you wake up, you are not just opening your eyes, you are opening the doors to another chance, another opportunity, another fight for your dream. But many people start the day without asking themselves the right questions. They check their phones, they complain about yesterday, or they worry about tomorrow. That's why I want to share with you 7 simple questions that you must ask yourself every morning if you want your life to move forward. The first question, what am I grateful for today? If you don't start your day with gratitude, you will spend the whole day with complaints. Gratitude changes your energy. Even if you only have one small thing to be thankful for, start with that. The second question, what is the one important thing I must achieve today? Many people waste their energy on 10 things and finish none. Focus on one important thing and you will feel the power of progress. The third question, what new thing can I learn today? Knowledge is like food for your future. If you don't feed your mind daily, you will stay hungry in your career, in your business, and in your life. The fourth question, who can I help today? Success is never about how much you get. It's about how much you give. If you wake up with the intention to help someone, you will never run out of opportunities because people remember kindness more than they remember talent. The fifth question, how will I face challenges today? Problems are not your enemy, they are your teachers. When you change the way you look at problems, the problems start changing in front of you. The sixth question, am I living my dream or someone else's? Every day you must check if you are walking on your own path, not the path society forces you to follow. If you are not living your dream, you are working to build someone else's. The seventh question, if today was my last day, would I be proud of myself? Life is short, unpredictable, and nobody knows how much time is left. This question pushes you to live with urgency, honesty, and courage. Ask yourself these 7 questions every morning. If you do it consistently, your days will change. And when your days change, your life changes. When you wake up in the morning, the very first thought you choose to entertain sets the tone for your entire day. Most people start by checking their phones, looking at the news or thinking about yesterday's problems, and as a result, they carry a heavy weight into the new day before it even begins. But imagine for a moment that the first question you ask yourself is simple, what am I grateful for today? Gratitude has a way of transforming the ordinary into extraordinary, of turning struggles into opportunities, and of shifting your focus from what is missing in your life to what is already present and valuable. Even if your life feels full of difficulties, there are always things to be thankful for. The fact that you woke up with another chance, the family or friends who care for you, the food you eat, the roof over your head, or even just the strength to try again. Gratitude doesn't require wealth, success, or perfection. It only requires perspective. When you focus on gratitude, your heart opens and your energy changes, and the world seems less against you and more like it is giving you chances to grow. Many people think gratitude is only for when you achieve big things. When you buy a house, get a promotion, or earn recognition. But real gratitude is practiced daily in the small things. When you acknowledge the value of what you already have, you train your mind to see possibilities instead of limitations. This mindset is powerful because it not only makes you happier, it makes you more resilient. A grateful person can face difficulties with a lighter spirit because they remember that no matter how hard the situation, there are still reasons to keep going. Gratitude creates patience in failure and humility in success. It balances you, grounds you, and keeps you moving forward without arrogance or despair. Think about how different your day feels when you start it with complaints instead of gratitude. Complaints drain your energy, make you irritable, and close your mind to solutions. Gratitude, on the other hand, fuels your creativity, sharpens your focus, and makes you more willing to embrace challenges. It creates a positive cycle. The more grateful you are, the more you notice things worth being grateful for, and the more energy you have to chase your goals. This is why asking yourself every morning, what am I grateful for today, is not a small ritual. It is a decision to control your mindset before the world controls it for you. When you begin your day, there are usually 1,000 little things waiting for your attention. Messages, chores, responsibilities, and distractions that pull you in every direction. Most people try to juggle them all and end up feeling exhausted, frustrated, and unproductive by the end of the day. That is why asking yourself the question, what is the one important thing I must achieve today, can change the way you approach your life. Instead of scattering your time and energy across many tasks that don't matter much, you bring sharp focus to the one thing that will make the biggest difference. It could be finishing a critical project, making a tough decision, having an honest conversation you've been avoiding, or simply taking a step toward your long-term dream. The point is to choose one meaningful priority that, if achieved, will give you a sense of progress and purpose. No matter what else happens, people often mistake being busy for being productive. You can fill your entire day with activity and still feel like you moved nowhere. Productivity is not about quantity, it is about impact. When you identify your one important thing, you are declaring to yourself that you will not let the noise of the day drown out the signal of what truly matters. Even if unexpected problems arise, even if you cannot control everything around you, as long as you complete that one key task, your day cannot be called wasted. This practice also builds discipline because it forces you to prioritize, to say no to distractions, and to train your mind to recognize what is essential versus what is just urgent. Imagine doing this every day. Over weeks and months, those single, focused achievements begin to stack up. Small victories accumulate into big successes. Consistency in finishing one important daily is more powerful than occasional bursts of effort scattered across countless directions. The best part is that this approach reduces stress because you no longer carry the guilt of unfinished goals. You give yourself clarity, and clarity creates confidence. Instead of feeling overwhelmed, you feel in control, and instead of ending the day drained, you end it with the satisfaction that you have moved one step closer to the future you want. Asking this question every morning shapes not just your day, but your destiny, because the future is nothing more than a collection of days well spent. Every new day comes with the possibility of growth. But that possibility only becomes real if you make the choice to learn something new. When you ask yourself in the morning, what new thing can I learn today? You are opening your mind to opportunities that others might ignore. Learning is not confined to classrooms, books, or formal training. It is a lifelong process that can happen anywhere at any time. It could be as simple as observing how someone solves a problem differently, picking up a new skill online, reading a few pages of a book, or even reflecting on your mistakes from yesterday. When you adopt the mindset of a learner, every situation becomes a teacher, and every experience adds value to your life. The reason many people feel stuck in life is not because opportunities are missing, but because growth has stopped. They repeat the same actions, think the same thoughts, and expect different results. Learning something new each day breaks that cycle. It stretches your thinking, challenges your limits, and equips you with tools to handle tomorrow's challenges. In a world that is constantly changing, knowledge is the greatest form of security. Skills that are valuable today may be outdated tomorrow, but the habit of learning ensures you will always adapt. This is why the most successful people are not the ones who know everything, but the ones who never stop learning. Learning also fuels confidence. When you learn a new concept, master a new tool, or even gain a small piece of wisdom, you feel stronger, more capable, and more prepared. That confidence spills into every area of your life, from how you speak to how you make decisions. It also attracts respect because people naturally trust those who are curious, informed, and always growing. And beyond practical benefits, learning keeps life exciting. Each new skill, idea, or perspective adds color to your world and prevents you from falling into the dullness of routine. Starting each day with the intention to learn is not about collecting random information, but about progress. Even small learning compounds over time. 10 minutes of focused reading daily becomes entire books in a year. One skill practiced consistently turns into mastery. When you wake up and decide that today will not pass without learning something new, you ensure that no day is wasted because every day adds to the person you are becoming. When you wake up in the morning and ask yourself, who can I help today? You immediately shift your focus from self-centered worries to a mindset of contribution. Most people begin their day thinking only about what they want to achieve, what they need to get, or what they might lose. But life has a way of rewarding those who think beyond themselves. When you decide to help someone, even in the smallest way, you create ripples that go far beyond what you can see. It might be offering advice to a colleague, encouraging a friend who feels down, guiding someone younger with your experience, or simply showing kindness to a stranger. These actions might seem small, but to the other person they can mean everything, and often they come back to you in unexpected ways. Helping others is not only about charity or money. It is about presence, care, and action. A few words of encouragement can lift a person out of despair. Sharing knowledge can open a door for someone's career. Giving your time can make someone feel valued. These moments create trust, build stronger relationships, and lay the foundation for opportunities that you cannot create alone. Success is never a solo journey. No matter how talented or ambitious you are, you need people, and people will only walk with you if they know you care about more than your own gain. That is why thinking about who you can help today is not just an act of kindness. It is an act of wisdom. There is also a deep sense of fulfillment that comes from helping others. Achievements and possessions bring happiness for a short time, But the joy of knowing you made someone's life better, even for a moment, lasts much longer. It gives your work meaning and your struggles purpose. Life feels heavier when you carry only your own problems, but lighter when you share in the journey of others. By contributing, you also discover your own strength. You realize you have something valuable to give, whether it is time, knowledge, skills, or even just compassion. And the more you give, the more your capacity grows, because generosity builds abundance within you each morning. When you ask, "Who can I help today?" you are not only making someone else's path easier, you are building a life that others respect, remember, and admire. A person who helps others never runs out of opportunities, because the world has a way of returning kindness multiplied every day is full of uncertainties. And no matter how well you plan, challenges will come your way. That is why asking yourself in the morning, "How will I face challenges today?" is so important. Most people hope for a smooth day, but the reality is that problems are a natural part of life. Some people see them as curses and waste their energy complaining, while others recognize them as teachers and use them as opportunities to grow. The truth is, challenges reveal who you really are. They test your patience, your discipline, and your creativity. Without challenges, you cannot develop strength, because strength is only built when something pushes against you. When you prepare your mind in advance for the difficulties you may face, you are no longer caught off guard. You are not shaken when things don't go your way, because you already expected resistance. This mindset turns frustration into focus. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you ask, "What can I learn from this?" Or, "How can I turn this situation to my advantage?" That shift in perspective is powerful, because it transforms challenges from obstacles into stepping stones. History is full of people who used setbacks as fuel for greatness, not because they were lucky, but because they refused to let challenges defeat them. It is also important to remember that every challenge carries hidden opportunities. A problem in business can push you to innovate. A personal struggle can build resilience and empathy. A failure can teach lessons that success never could. If you choose to see challenges as temporary rather than permanent, as specific rather than overwhelming, you begin to realize that each difficulty is shaping you into someone stronger and wiser. The greatest breakthroughs often come right after the toughest struggles, but only for those who keep moving forward instead of giving up. Facing challenges with courage also inspires the people around you. When your team, your family, or your friends see that you remain calm and determined in difficult times, they too gain confidence. You become a source of strength for others simply by showing that problems can be handled with patience and persistence. Life will never give you a day without challenges, but if you begin each morning by preparing yourself to face them, you take control of your attitude. And once you control your attitude, no challenge can truly control you. Every morning when you wake up, one of the most powerful questions you can ask yourself is, "Am I living my dream or someone else's?" This question forces you to stop and reflect on the path you are walking. Too often people spend years of their lives chasing goals that were never truly theirs. They follow careers because their family expected it. They adopt lifestyles because society told them it was the definition of success. and they make choices because they fear judgment if they choose differently. At the end, they may achieve recognition or comfort, but inside they feel empty because they never listen to their own voice. Asking yourself this question daily keeps you honest with yourself and ensures you don't waste your life living under the weight of someone else's expectations. Living your own dream does not mean the journey will be easy. In fact, it is often harder because your dream requires courage, risk, and the willingness to stand apart. But the difference is that when challenges come, you will have the strength to endure them because you are fighting for something that matters deeply to you. When you pursue someone else's dream, even small difficulties feel unbearable because your heart is not in it. That is why clarity is so important. You must know what excites you, what gives you energy, and what vision of life truly belongs to you. Without this clarity, you end up running fast, but in the wrong direction, achieving milestones that don't bring real fulfillment. When you live your dream, every small step feels meaningful. Progress may be slow, but it feels alive. You wake up with purpose instead of pressure, and even though people may not understand your choices, you feel peace because you are aligned with your own truth. On the other hand, when you live someone else's dream, no amount of success will satisfy you because it is not feeding your soul. That is why so many people achieve wealth, status, or fame and still feel restless and lost. They reach the top of a mountain only to realize it was the wrong one each morning. This question serves as a compass. It reminds you to check whether your actions, your priorities, and your sacrifices are leading you toward your own vision of life. If they are not, it gives you the chance to adjust, to take back control, and to redirect your energy toward what truly belongs to you. The sooner you start living your dream, the sooner your life begins to feel like it is truly yours. When you open your eyes in the morning and ask yourself, if today was my last day, would I be proud of myself? You bring urgency and honesty into your life. Most people live as if they have unlimited time. They postpone their dreams, delay their goals, and waste precious hours on things that do not matter, believing they will always have tomorrow. But tomorrow is never guaranteed. Life is unpredictable, and no one can know how many days remain. This question is not meant to create fear. It is meant to wake you up, to remind you that every single day carries the weight of finality and the possibility of legacy. It pushes you to live in such a way that if the curtain were to fall tonight, you would not regret how you spent the day. Living with this perspective changes how you make decisions. Instead of spending time on trivial arguments, meaningless distractions, or tasks that don't bring value, you begin to focus on what truly matters. You give more attention to your loved ones, you take bolder steps toward your goals, and you stop waiting for the perfect moment to start. Pride in yourself does not come from perfection. It comes from effort, courage, and alignment with your values. If you can honestly say that you lived today with integrity, that you gave your best to your work, your relationships, and your personal growth, then you can go to sleep at night with peace in your heart. This question also eliminates the fear of failure. When you live with the awareness that your time is limited, you stop worrying so much about what people think. You stop being paralyzed by the idea of making mistakes because you realize that wasting time is the biggest mistake of all. You start to see failure as part of the journey rather than something to be ashamed of. Pride comes not from avoiding failure, but from having the courage to try, to fall, and to rise again. Each day lived this way becomes meaningful, whether or not you achieve every goal immediately. When you remind yourself that today could be the last, you also develop gratitude for the small moments. A smile from a loved one, a conversation with a friend, or even the chance to work toward your dream becomes precious. This awareness makes you more present, more alive, and more intentional. And at the end of the day, the measure of pride is not in how much you gained, but in how fully you lived. Every morning is a new beginning, a fresh page waiting to be written. The questions you ask yourself at the start of the day shape not just your hours, but your destiny. If you choose to live with gratitude, clarity, courage, and contribution, your life will not be ordinary. It will be meaningful. Success is never built in one giant step. It is built in the small choices you make every single day. These 7 questions are not just a routine. They are a compass. They guide your thoughts, sharpen your focus, and remind you of what truly matters. If you carry them with you each morning, you will not only change your days, you will change your life.